Hi, everyone, and welcome to Hot Off the Mess. I am your host, Samantha Bush, and I am joined by one of my best friends, my co-host on Shortcomings, a Sex and the City podcast, Chris Lewis. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. I have a very scary ghost girl in the corner of my where I'm recording right now. She's very scary.
You know, I'm not a Halloween king or queen, but
Do you want to
we
tell the
do love
people what you're
spooky.
doing?
I'm barreling towards Christmas.
Do you want to tell the people what you're doing on Saturday?
What am I doing on Saturday?
What are you doing on Saturday?
Hold on.
Are you
Oh!
serious?
I was like, I don't know. I could pull up my calendar.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Mrs. Bassett.
Miss
Mrs.
Candy
Dillard
Gal
Bassett.
09.
Drive back
Miss
herself.
hashtag flip the Senate.
I am going to see Candace in DC at increasingly, I'm like, what did we purchase tickets for when we bought these? Because I will have everyone know I bought these tickets like they were announced and I had them.
Mm-hmm.
Without thinking.
Them up. Mm-hmm.
It seems to be quite a small venue.
Is it?
Like it could be in someone's living room.
Oh my God. Imagine it like Mama Dot's house.
And so, but I'm super excited. I'm going with my good friend Annie, and I have a love of Candace. I am concerned about the vocals and the dancing. Let's see.
Yeah.
She has many God-given talents. I'm not sure music is one of them.
It's a passion of hers, Chris.
But it is a passion. And you know, I came back from a great wedding and I was in the presence of this couple's love. I'm excited to be in the presence of Candace's love with herself.
Right. That's important.
And they're powerful. I feel like I could be transformed, much like Leah Michelle in Funny Girl. It's when you see someone in a role of a lifetime like Candace performing Candace.
Mm-hmm. Her album.
So I'll let you know how it is. I'll be driving back. That's the only song I know.
That you can purchase her album on vinyl?
I did. I think I told you that, and I thought,
okay. Yeah.
I don't know if people are clamoring. Like, it's not Renaissance.
No, and I love my girl, but like
you didn't sell any CDs.
I'm not hoping over the record player and going, I think I'm gonna put on Candace.
It's right. Like okay, some of us are putting on like Bing Crosby at Christmas time. We're putting on like Butterfly, the 25th anniversary.
Maybe like a Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, like I don't think we're going to. What was the album even called? Was it just called
Deep
Candace?
Space?
Deep Space, of course. Stream Deep Space. And I know all of this sounds like I don't love her, but I really do.
You love her enough that you're going to her show.
Again, I follow like 5 housewives, and she's one of them. I can't have these women littering my feed.
No, I mean, I wish sometimes I could get a break, but I can't. So today you're here. We're going to talk Potomac. We're going to talk Beverly Hills Final Reunion, and we're going to talk Love is Blind because I can't shut the fuck up about it.
And people have been DMing me left and right, like, you guys need to talk about this on Shortcomings. I'm like, I don't know that our Sex and the City podcast is the appropriate forum, but I'm glad we have this one.
Yeah, I'll take it anywhere I can.
Oh,
like
yeah,
I'll talk about it anywhere. Do you want to start with that?
Hey, this is your show. I have no
outline. I kind of want to start with Love is Blind. I got to.
Well, so as everyone might know, this is Sam's birthday week. She turns finally 30 on Saturday, right? Your actual birthday is Saturday, the 29th, right?
Yeah.
And so I do have a present for you, not like one that will be coming later because I forgot you moved. And so I went to buy it and realized I don't have your address. But
what is
thankfully,
it?
I didn't send it to your old apartment. But I did queue up a present for you to present to you today, and it's a performance.
Okay.
I am going to perform for you, Sam, my favorite scene from Love is Blind Season 3.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
The best sex I've ever had has been transcendental. Transcendental? You sort of sync up with the other person, and I can feel the pleasure that you're feeling as you bring pleasure, and vice versa. When you're sort of synced up like that, every caress on the nipples, on your arm, a tongue down your tummy, like both people enjoying it every second. Mm-hmm. The point is to be connected, right? To keep the energy flow between you two. I've only been sexually open like this for a couple of years now. Like I haven't, been this dude just oozing sex my entire life. So the girl I dated in Bali, a 41-year-old lady, she had a lot to teach me, a lot around sex. That was my first experience during orgasmic pleasure. Yeah. And what was interesting for me is that there's this sexual kung fu, as they call it, for men. And it involves the ultimate goal is that to have an orgasm without ejaculating.
Oh my God.
There's a set of practices, and I've worked on this over time. And at this point, I'm able to have a sort of mini orgasms without ejaculating during sex, which is the greatest. Because once you open your mind to the idea of sexual pleasure becoming this holistic thing and eroticism starting outside of the bedroom, it's like an avenue for growth and also a source of intense pleasure. Yeah? I'm hoping I can share that with someone. Yeah, I think you need a teacher, someone to open your eyes and awaken you to this. Yeah? I feel drawn to you. I can feel your energy through the wall. And seen.
Chris, that was powerful.
Powerful words from Andrew.
Powerful words from Andrew.
And I did have to type that out.
I was wondering, I was like, when he said kung fu,
sexual kung fu.
Sexual kung fu.
I was more burdened by when he said you can orgasm without ejaculate. I was like, ah.
That was a shock.
And also, I'm not a woman. I guess I shouldn't speak for women or anyone sleeping with men. I don't think anyone wants men not ejaculating and having multiple mini orgasms. It's like,
honestly, get out of here.
Yeah,
get out of here.
Andrew sounds exhausted in the bedroom.
He sounds so exhausted. I would be like, can we wrap it up? Like, this is so tiring.
Yeah, I'd be like, sir, nobody's interested in that. Don't nobody want all that?
No. Chris, you and I have been texting about Love is Blind for the last week. We can't stop.
And it's all I've been talking about.
It's all I can fucking think about. It's all I can talk about. And people are like, who do you like? I'm like, I hate everyone on this show.
There's not
but I love them.
The
They're monsters. Monsters.
I don't even know. How do you want to? Should we just go person by person?
Couple by couple or person by person?
I feel like, well, I'm afraid to click on this list of couples because the article says who's still together and I can't have spoilers.
Oh, I don't want to know. I can't do a spoiler.
Yeah, so let's do it by person.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull up the Love is Blind season 3 cast.
Okay.
All right. Who do we got?
I can name them all.
Oh, I couldn't name one of them. All right, well, let's start with Alexa.
Okay, Alexa is definitely the one. Alexa is definitely the one that I like the most. Yeah, she's. Sorry, my Alexa heard me say the name. She definitely, to me, is the one that I think is the most quote unquote normal. I like that she
was
celebrates
raised by a beautiful man.
Oh, daddy.
Her father has skyrocketed to the top of my celebrity crushes. I don't have a name on him or what he does. Their house is gorgeous.
I don't really care what he does. He seems to be very, as he called himself, affluent. And I've never been more attracted to someone's father.
Oh, other than your father, when he opened that door, I screamed.
Well, I also love that you got the shock of that he has a very, very young wife.
His wife could be 19.
she's literally maybe 23. Maybe.
But Alexa to me is I don't dislike her. I don't like. She's just kind of nothing. Mm-hmm. I thought she was going to be more of our resident queen when she first started giving us the relatable content of I like to eat. But then she's just kind of faded into nothing. And frankly, it's kind of the same with Brennan. They're the two who every time they pop up, I'm like, whoa, who are they?
And their sex talk, like the way that she's like, he ravages my body. I'm
Well,
like,
well, I
Brennan?
appreciated though that she shared like, well, the first time was a little boring, but I gave some notes, and every person on this show is always like, well, they're not. I feel everyone's tone is that like, well, we've got to work on some stuff.
No, Chris, it is. Everyone is like, I'm not attracted to them in any sort of sense.
They're not exactly who I've dated in the past. Like with just mania in their eyes. But Brennan and
Chris, I'm
Alexa are
crying.
like, they're just like mayonnaise. And I want all the listeners to know Sam did not watch the text, the original Love is Blind season 1. So I'm going to use a
No.
couple in reference, and you won't even know who they are, as Kelly
Nope.
and Kenny, who were two people we were just introduced to out of the like blink of nothing when they went to Mexico. It was like, here are these two white people. It was like, who are they?
Did they
And they
work
were just
out?
like our normals, but then drama for them started at the end. So I'm really hoping Alexa and Brennan bring us something to see in
You
the
know,
last two.
I have to say, watching Brennan like really be embraced by this family, like I genuinely feel like if out of any couple, they're gonna get married.
I think they get married, and we have about 6 minutes after they leave before like divorce papers are like coming out because
I
it finds
mean,
out Brennan has like -$2 in his bank account.
yeah, the dad did look a little concerned. He was like, "So, do you think that you can be able to provide the life that she's accustomed to?" And he was like, "I grew up with no heater AC." And he's like,
He's
"That's not
and
exactly the
no
answer."
doors. I've never
Yeah, no doors. Alexa was like, "What are you talking about? Like,
and
no doors."
God bless his dad for like his parents for taking the doors off the hinges. That's a lot of work.
Also, I gotta say, like, was the knife thing at the end a bris joke?
Yes, but and I love
Okay.
that the father was ready with prop comedy.
Oh my God, he's a star. A star
He
was
was
born.
like, "We will be making jokes about like circumcisions."
With machetes. He brought out the big guns.
No, I'm obsessed with that family. I want them on
Obsessed.
Bravo immediately. But like the minute I saw the mom, I was like, they get her to OC.
Oh my God, that face. You got to get her on Orange County.
Oh, she would be a
With the backless
killer.
dress.
All right, now beautiful.
Beautiful, but I was like, ma'am.
Yeah. I mean, look, she said I'm gonna be on Netflix. This is a global streaming platform. They're getting this every which way around the world. In fact, honestly, some of the other families we've seen needed to put their best foot forward.
Uh, we'll get to that.
Now, the next character I have on my list
Yes.
here is Andrew, who of course we opened with. Or should we
Andrew.
talk about when Andrew got his little eye
His
drops out?
props, his eye drops. This
Yeah,
man,
that
guys, if
was
you are not watching Love is Blind, like you run, do not walk. Sit your ass down on the couch, set it up, get it going. This man sits down. He just got dumped
no.
after
Before we talk
proposing.
about that, actually, we need to
Oh,
talk about the
okay.
greatest bit of physical comedy work I've ever seen someone do.
Which
He is
is
rejected by whatever her name may be, Karen, Nancy.
Nancy.
He takes it in for one beat, gets up
Mhm.
off of the one knee, leans back onto the couch and crosses his knee as if nothing has happened.
It was scary.
It's so terrifying. I have it on my phone. I've watched it 1 million times.
It's so crazy. Like it really sent a chill down my
He
spine.
employed stillness in a way I've never like been able to because I'm always talking and like eyes bugged out of my head.
And we're always like, messing about. He
Yeah.
is not. He's very scary. And then he sits down for an interview and he goes, "Are you guys rolling?"
And he's as red faced as we've ever seen someone from Tears.
Yeah. And they're like, "Yeah." And then he takes out eyedroppers, puts them in his eyes, and pretends to cry.
I thought he was actually crying.
Are you fucking kidding me,
I
Christopher?
think he was. I thought the eye drops were him. Like it's not really tears; it's eye drops. I don't
That's what I
know.
mean.
Everyone here has got prop work for days on Love Is Blind.
That's what I mean.
I
He
guess
put the
last
eye
season we saw
drops
them
in
in
so that it
Florida.
would look like he was crying.
No, I think he was actually crying, but he wanted us to believe they were eye drops. I think Andrew's working on a meta
Oh.
level.
Oh, see, I wasn't even going there. I thought he was like trying to pretend to cry.
I don't know. I think Andrew is so deeply unconnected to his emotions.
You
And when
think?
he got dumped, like the wall came down and he saw like his ancestors' pain. Like everything entered him all at once.
Wow. I really am now. I'm really curious what other people are
Then
thinking.
he put the wall back up and strolled in once invited back and said, Nancy, how are you? And he's got jokes like he's in the fucking improv group.
He's on, yeah, he's at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
He's in love with her.
He's in love with her. And I should also add, I know I've said many mean things about Andrew. I'm very attracted to him. Just
Oh,
throwing that out.
he's very attractive.
If
Very
he's
attractive.
available and wanting a 30, soon to be 34-year-old gay man in Baltimore, call me Andy.
Call me. Yeah. So then Bartice walks over and is like being so aggressive with Nancy. And the way that I wanted Andrew to fucking lay him out was crazy.
Well, we'll get to
I
Bartice.
wanted Andrew to beat his ass, but we'll get there.
No, I'm looking at Andrew's little profile they have written here for him, and he says simply, key to his heart, constant snuggles. And I like that.
Chris, shut up. This man says that he
Let's see
orgasms
who
without
else we got here.
ejaculating.
Well, next up is Bartice.
Oh my God, this fucking guy.
Now,
Where
I've
to
been on such a
begin?
journey with Bartice. When the show started, I thought, like, again, and I am going to reference season 1, which you've never seen. I thought he was our Mark, who was like a young buck, like cute, like very sweet, but like all the girls were like, he's too young for me. Like, don't love Mark. And so I thought Bartice was kind of filling that role. Little
Okay.
did I know he's filling the role of literal Satan. Like, this man is unhinged. So I was at first
No,
like,
he
love
thinks
Bartice.
he's God's fucking gift to women.
He
It's
thinks
disgusting.
he like each thing I liked about him at the beginning, I'm like disgusting, awful. The beginning I was like so
Peg.
cute. What a great guy. Like, love his hair. By the last episode 7, I was like, that fucking pube-headed asshole needs to get the fuck off camera. He loses his goddamn mind. No, I thought we were in Mexico. Upsetting to find out we were in Malibu.
We're in Malibu.
I
I also thought we were in Mexico.
I thought we were like out of the state.
Oh, I thought they went international.
Yeah, I was like,
They didn't.
I was like, are we at least in like Costa Rica?
Well, because Dallas is close to Mexico, so I just had assumed.
Well, I feel we went to Mexico both other seasons. I was very upset to find we were in Malibu. I was looking.
Yeah, that was kind of a shock.
Like, we can
Maybe
run
someone
through
on the
that in
cast.
2 days.
Maybe someone on the cast didn't have their passport or something.
Oh, I don't think any which one of these people has a goddamn passport. The only
So
one who does is SK.
Bartice is terrifying. Let us say that we find almost every single man on the show to be scary.
As I've texted almost every friend in my life who's watching this show, if you told me every person on this cast, man, woman, or beast, was a serial killer, I would believe you. They are all terrifying. The women
So
scare
scary.
me. There are no
women-
heroes.
No.
This is
Except for Alexa's
we have to
dad.
go back to season 1. We don't have a Lauren and Cam to hang our hats on.
We don't even have a what's the other couple from last year? Nick and
You mean the divorced couple who hated each other?
yes, we don't even have them.
Yeah, no, they
nothing.
look bright and shiny compared to what we've gotten.
Oh, these dust-covered little
These nothings.
these nothings. Okay, let's go down. Who else do
I
we
don't think
got?
we're done with Bartice quite yet.
Oh, we're not? Okay.
No,
we can talk about him.
no, because
Okay.
I think we gotta talk about, Bartice and Colleen. So let's write Bartice and Nancy right into Colleen and Cole.
Okay. Go ahead.
Bartice, the way he is treating
This woman.
Nancy,
Beautiful woman.
who is, beautiful. Look, a liar, a huckster.
A liar and a huckster. Nancy?
Because even she had to admit, like, yeah, I mean, I did say he was my real estate agent. What I really meant
Oh,
was like,
that.
what I really meant was like, we're actually in business together. He lives in one of my homes and occasionally sleeps on my floor.
No,
I'm like,
the thing about Nancy that I don't think is being discussed enough is that she has she feels she's been put on this earth to repopulate. She wants
I
her
disagree because
DNA
what we find out about later
sprinkled.
is that she's, my
Well,
Roe v. Wade protecting queen. She
yeah,
is
she's
not
so
for the
her.
Dobbs decision. No, this must have been filmed before Dobbs because,
Oh, easily.
and we know who was celebrating that day, and is Bartiz his last name?
No, Bartiz is his first name. And must I say, she got him good in that conversation. She was like, so do you like believe in like plan B? And he's like, yeah, I've given it out a bunch of times.
He's like, yeah, I got 6 pills in my pocket right now. What about it? Like,
He's like, and she's like, okay, because she's so, guys,
and she's
she's a
like, and what
speech
about instances of
pathologist.
rape? He's like, well, that's a traumatic situation, Nancy. Of course.
She's like, okay.
And he's like,
And
but if it happens twice, you gotta have that baby. Like, I'm like, what is
fucking
going
crazy.
on? Crazy.
He
It
was
was
like that, Chris, that
I've never seen a
conversation
scene like that before.
was so insane. And just look at her face. She was like,
You
okay.
couldn't write a scene that devastating.
No, he goes, if my kid was born with 3 legs, I would love him.
Yeah, and as you said,
raise
he's
them and I
like,
would be a dad. I'm like,
3 legs, Down syndrome, trans, black, white. It's like, these are not all the same things, sir. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I can't breathe. No, seriously, because she is a speech pathologist, I need to go to her, speech pathologist, and she works with a lot of kids
Flash
who
house
are like,
flipper.
she's a mogul.
And as her family has, they do not carry any debt. I'm like,
No.
And the mom's like, I run a bail bond company. I was like, that is not where I thought we were landing with the mom's profession. I thought she was going to be like, yeah, like I also flip houses or very successful. I know if you're lying to me, look me in the eyes.
She's like, I deal with criminals.
Like, well, sweetie, you're going to be dealing with a lot of criminals if you. I'd like that mom to go every which way to this cast.
That family hated him. Those brothers, Jesus and Scott or whatever. I mean, there's nothing to like, but he thinks he is it. And the moment he saw Raven walk in and he goes, I want to fuck her.
Sam,
like, that was disgusting.
After their conversation about abortion healthcare, when he was sitting on the computer in the living room with his little headphones on, and she's sitting in the bed sobbing, basically. Just like, it used to be 20 kisses on the head a day, and now we're down to 2 or 3. Like, what is going on? These people are wrecks.
Because I can't breathe. No, and then she goes, I asked him for a hug, and he said, you're so needy.
And Bartiz, and as I've said this, he is the Taylor Swift lyric from All Too Well, so casually cruel in the name of being honest. Because this man is like, I have to tell you in all honesty, I find you fucking disgusting, and I really want to fuck this other woman. But I just have to say that because I'm an honest person,
No,
and I hope you can respect that.
Upsetting. It's so upsetting. He literally dead ass looks this woman in the face every night and goes, I'm really not physically attracted to you at all. And I think that's really
like, did
important.
You see Raven when she walked in? That body.
In that tight dress, that body.
Then I gotta come home to you? And Nancy's never not just sitting there, eyes wide.
I want her to spit on him and leave.
Yes, and I told you, so I feel that you not seeing season 1, you don't recognize that these people have choices. Like, there is a woman.
I didn't realize that.
She stood up, threw a drink. Now, you also don't realize that there's a Real Housewives of Atlanta connection in season 1.
With who?
Do you remember? I think his name is Anthony. He was Cynthia's assistant, and he gets into the fight with Kenya at the coochie party.
About the coochie crack?
Yes, there's an assistant there who fights with Kenya. Do you remember him?
Yes, I do.
That man appears on Love is Blind season 1, I believe under a different name. And he gets engaged to a woman named Diamond. And of course, I saw him and was like, oh, that's Cynthia Bailey's assistant. He's gay. He later comes out as bisexual, which Diamond doesn't have a problem with. But she's like, you should tell me these things and you need to be more open. and communicative. And he flips the fuck out on her. And as I told you, she throws a drink on him, twirls away, and says, "You can bounce to the next dick boy." So these people they can leave.
Right. Why are they not doing that?
Nancy does not need to sit there wide-eyed looking at him like
These
he's like
people,
fucking Hercules descended upon
they're not
God.
soulmates. Like, these people are not soulmates.
They're not even strangers. They're like people from different planets.
They're two ships passing in the night on different seas.
With like fog, like just with no relationship.
Fog, there's nothing. Okay, so now let's talk about...
Well, before we talk about that, we got to talk about Bartisa's sister, who emotionally manipulated Nancy through her tears, which was the most disgusting thing. She burst into tears and says they're just all such little angels. And I was like,
talking about
the mere mention of abortion is making you like, I'm just like, this is crazy. And by the way, Nancy has held this you know me, I would have been like, women should have the right to do whatever they want with their body. Nancy's just saying, like, you know, with families with kids with special needs, it can be really difficult, and I'm open to having a conversation. And they're like, you fucking baby killing bitch. I'm like, what? She's being quite moderate about this situation.
And the way that like he just threw her under the bus, knowing that this would be the outcome of that conversation.
It was something they didn't need to discuss with their parents on the first day they've met over charcuterie.
No. It was disgusting.
Now, should we go to Cole and Zanab?
I love her. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Literally the Kourtney Kardashian of this show. Low energy, completely just like...
Because she hates him, Chris.
Please pick up yours knocks. I'm like, could
she
you just
hates
shut the
this
fuck
man.
up?
This
He's
man
sour.
looks her... He literally said to her face, I was blown away when he goes, do you think that I would have picked a girl named Zanab if I knew that she was gonna look like my ex-girlfriend Lily?
Look, I'm not saying Cole's not a like racist monster of a man.
But so she obviously knows that he's racist and his family is racist, and that is the problem.
I think we've got some internalized problems with her. And she wants this like dark-haired, blue-eyed demon. Like Cole,
I don't even think she wants him.
And first of all, I have to say about Cole, he needs to moisturize. His skin is on the brink of a disaster, and I'm terrified every scene. It's like he's holding it together, but I can see like just everything coming forth.
The way that these people like behave, it's just, I can't even wrap my brain around it.
Although now that I'm thinking about Cole and Zay, I'm like, maybe they've got a chance too.
Are you okay?
That towel, that wet towel on the kitchen counter.
Oh my God, here's a part with the flies in the toilet. And she's just like, I don't like that you said that Colleen is your type. Like, I'll never be that.
Okay, but she is also one of those people who like picks and prods. Like, there is no reason if you have, like, okay, you and I with self-esteem issues out the wazoo.
Oh.
I would never in my goddamn life ask someone like, give me a rating out of 1 out of 10. Because even 10 wouldn't be enough to fill my void.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like,
You'd say 10 out of 10 and I'd be like, why wasn't it 12?
No, I'd be like, why am I not off the charts?
So
and then he said that Raven
and she shouldn't do.
Yeah, but then he said that Colleen and Raven were 10s. And then he tried to justify it. It was crazy. And then to look at her and be like, in the real world, I never think girls are above 7.
He's like, do you know how many fucking ugly bitches there are in this world? The fact that I gave you a 9, you should be so lucky to be as close to Colleen as that.
She's like, what? And I don't understand, like, Colleen is not like a beautiful angel creature.
I have
to say, fucking mess.
I think they look very similar. I'm like, could we not? If anything, I think Zay is more beautiful.
She is more beautiful.
Oh boy.
No offense, Colleen, not to pit women against women, but
pit of need.
Whoa, let's talk about Colleen and Matt.
Well, Colleen is my favorite character on this show, and as I texted
I'm a ballet dancer.
She was going to be incredibly triggering to you.
Why?
Because
share with
you got
people.
Some Colleen in you.
Do I? That's so
I've seen
mean.
Some Colleen come out in the dark moments.
Oh my God! In which moment?
I just feel that
specifically.
you would be like, all right, this one turned me down, that one turned me down. Let me burst in here to this third one. And just Colleen is
When
like a
she looked
bat
at
out of
Matt and goes,
hell.
Matt, I want to do life with you. And he was like, all right, I guess I'm proposing.
Yes. And I love the way they edited it. It was like she stormed Normandy out of one room, bounced into Matt's pod, and was like, I have been thinking about you since day one. Matt is going to lose his goddamn mind when he sees
When
how
he
that was
sees
edited.
that,
Yeah.
oh, Matt is going to flip the fuck out
And that'll
because
be the night
Brennan
the
said no
lights
to
went down
her.
in Dallas. Like,
Ooh.
Dallas, like, I'm scared when
Matt's terrifying. Who do you, okay, I think Matt, Bartise, and Cole are the scariest men. Literally
again,
all
they're
of them.
oh yeah, I mean Matt from the moment he popped up was the most triggering to me.
Yeah, you
He's
were
just the
like
kind of
immediately.
he was the kind of man who I'm like, no, he's scary. And my friend Amanda put it best. Matt isn't even someone who goes 0 to 10. He lives at a 9.
Wow.
And I was
He
like, ooh, that
does.
is so true. Like it's just dark energy.
Dark and even his mom had dark energy. Like she knew like
I
her
liked his
son's
mom.
fucked.
I thought, no, I was referring to her when I said, some parents could have put their best foot forward.
You were talking about her?
It's just like, let's put on
A
a little
little
something, something.
judge.
Like,
Yeah. It
it looked like
was a
the
little
camera showed up and
lackluster.
she didn't know.
Yeah, they were all around the barbecue pit, like
Just like, oh, we
shocked.
thought we were meeting her off camera.
Yeah. Um, no, Matt's really scary because when Colleen talked to him about the pool day, he went
I
nuclear.
thought actually it was irresponsible of the producers not to step in.
Did you hear the producer when Matt was like, bro, like you wouldn't be pissed? And he was like,
The producers were like, I got to get out of here before he kills me.
yeah. And then I mean the end of episode 7.
For Bartise and Nancy to have to be in their own serious conversation, then bring. I was like, oh,
I
somebody's
couldn't.
calling. Like to hear, he's like, and God, I will give Bartise this. That motherfucker was like, gotta put you on speakerphone. We are on a reality show. It was like,
He knew.
I was
He's
like,
a
he
professional.
get him on Real Housewives because these people aren't professional reality stars. So the fact that he was like, you know what, I don't want to have to relay this later in confessional.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get him on
Let's go.
speakerphone. He's
He
screaming.
went down to the room.
And did you realize they were all staying in one hotel? I did.
Not a clue.
So when he said, I'm going to go get him, I was like, oh, he's got to like drive across town.
That's what I thought.
The fact that we were right in the room with him, I was like, this is this is as beautiful as anything I've ever seen. It was like a tracking shot. It was like Birdman.
And the pain and desperation in Bartise's voice when he was like, I want what you guys have. I would kill for
you
this.
stay in this house. You don't understand. You have Colleen, the one we all want to fuck.
Yeah. Literally, he's like, I got that old
you
bitch.
Fucking ugly ass man. You fucking ugly ass dope. Do you know how much we want to fuck Colleen? And you're telling me because she's at the club at 2:30 a.m. Do you know what I've been putting over there with that bitch Nancy wants to abort my kids? I was like, what is going on in this show?
No, it was like something I had never seen before in my life.
And he's just seething like this woman. And I love how everyone's like, my future wife would never behave like this. And I don't know, are heterosexual people just roaming around thinking, my future wife, my future husband, my future wife? Like,
yes, I think so.
it's all so terrifying.
So terrifying. I feel like we're SK and Raven.
I mean, I love SK. I think he's like the one normal person on this show.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Who has a little bit of charisma.
Mm-hmm.
But Raven is a demon from hell to work out while a man is trying to propose to you. Jumping jacks. She was doing something off the couch. She's never not working out, which is just my nightmare.
So Bartise, if you guys aren't watching, Bartise was opening up to Raven, like about his childhood, about everything in the pods. This woman starts doing jumping jacks and tricep dips. And he goes, are you working out? And she's like, oh, you could hear me? And he was like,
yeah, you dummy. It's
yeah,
like, that's all I got
idiot.
is my ears. Now let's talk about was it Bartise who said, is it Nancy is telling the devastating story of losing both of her parents and being raised by her stepmom. And he says simply at the end.
That's an ab.
Zainab. Okay, and Cole says simply at the end, I am so happy to know you more. I feel so much closer to you now that I know your trauma. This show, guys.
It's so insane. I never want it to end, ever.
We only have one more week.
Um, that's
We have
it?
weddings and then we're done. We got weddings,
That's
and then
it?
reunion. But Love is Blind doesn't know how to do a reunion.
Wow.
And I have to give a plea to Netflix. If anyone at Netflix is listening, fire Nick and Vanessa Lachey. We don't need them. Get them out of here.
Yeah, like they're
I
really
feel like we could.
unnecessary.
I don't need them popping up every episode. It's just like get them off screen. Either hire
Mhm.
Lauren and Cam from season 1 to do it, and have them
Yes.
relate to them through and then it would almost be something aspirational that the couples could look to. Or I don't think we need hosts. We could just do that in voiceover.
It's truly, you don't need a host. And like these people, so Colleen, like nothing she says is truthful. Like she does not love this man.
Matt, I think she does.
Yeah. Are you okay?
I think Colleen is such a fool. And as we know, a shallow person, she's like, I don't really have any interest in getting deep. I don't think that has anything to do with marriage, honestly.
That was so crazy. Cole was like,
you have
what?
no depth and you're a shallow person. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
cool with that.
He
But you
was,
know what? Honestly, some shallow people are some of my favorite people to pal around with.
yeah,
Like
I
just
mean, she's probably a
vacuous
good
idiots.
time.
Yeah, it's like just
Hmm.
you, they're my favorite people to sidle up to at a bar. Like I
Yeah,
bet
she's
Colleen and I
probably
would
fun.
really have a great time at Candace's concert.
Oh, yeah, she'd be living.
Who would you
Um,
most like to grab drinks with? Of these wrecks, of these nothing people.
Alexa.
Honestly, I have to say, just so I could watch it disintegrate into madness, Cole.
Chris, he would lose his mind. He
I
would
will
say
say
some
I did
crazy
have a
shit to
sweet
you.
spot when he had his monologue about his parents and how like he thinks Christianity is supposed to bring you closer to being nice to people, but they're just getting more and more judgmental. And a part of me
Hmm.
wanted to say, and look, no defense of his parents, because I'm sure
Right.
they might be nuts. But I was kind of like, maybe they just don't want to be on television. But then he
You
did
think,
say it's not about being on camera.
yeah. And I have to say, his family obviously is crazy as fuck because they gave him a tin can full of old dirt from his backyard in Ziploc bags.
You don't know. Look, I don't have one of those. I don't even have like a photo of myself as a child, as I shared with
Chris,
you.
that was
The only picture
insane.
of my childhood is me drowning in a pool on vacation, and we watched it once a year. Like, look at this funny part where Chris is dying, and then a stranger saves him. It's like, oh, this is dark sided. But I wasn't expecting for him to open that tin can, and it's like, here's the dirt you played with as a kid. Like, I'm like,
I
how
was
nothing
expecting
of a
like
child
baby
were you?
blanket.
Like,
I was expecting something
at least there was a
like
photo in there.
the Ziploc bag of dirt.
He was like, I think there's a lock of my hair and some dirt. But that's Cole, like in a nutshell. He's just like hair and dirt, just bumbling around. And I love him.
No,
God
it
bless
really
him.
is.
Like,
Oh my
he is a
God. No,
character for the ages, Cole.
he is insane.
He,
Oh my God.
that shit insane.
Oh my God. And she's just disgusted by him. Like she hates him. Hates.
I did think she did her very best in that apartment. The
Oh, she
best
did.
she could say is at least it doesn't smell.
My biggest thing with what I want for like next season is I want the men to be a little bit older. I don't like that the men are like 25 and the girls are like 31.
But I think that's just Cole.
No, Bartice is also 25.
Oh, that's true. Brennan's 48, though, if he's a day.
He's seen things.
Brennan could be 60. If you
Just call him Brenny.
Brennan? Is his name
Oh,
not Brennan?
no, it is. I thought you called him Brenny.
No, I don't have a nickname for any of these people.
Oh, okay.
No, this isn't like again, this isn't season 1 where I like fell in love with everyone. This isn't season 2 where at least I was like, what's happening? Though I can't really remember any couple from season 2 other than Danielle and Nick.
I can't get a name on any of them anymore.
Yeah.
I don't
It's like
know.
once Love is Blind is over, you just like it, just the
It's
drain is empty. Like,
yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we have been talking for 41 minutes about Love is Blind. So
sorry.
let's do yeah, we guys, sorry, I've never laughed this hard
And I
ever.
feel we
Chris is
haven't
so
even
funny.
scratched the surface. There are like a million more things I want to say.
Oh, well, say them.
I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to begin. It's like a one is too many, and a million wouldn't be enough. Like
Yeah.
just
I mean, there's so many like little moments. Like with SK talking about how he's gonna go get his master's degree, and Raven's like, well, I'm not stopping my lifestyle.
and also, I
And
think it's
her
only
friends
fair that
saying
you
that
pay for an
she has
apartment you don't live in. It's
well, also Raven is an interesting character. She really teed up the I'm a bottle service girl in a very interesting way. She was like, I work in the service industry.
oh, and wasn't she the one who was also like, and my exes bought me a few things,
Yes.
and they were like,
And then her
a
friends go,
home. I thought he
she
was going to
has
be like, well, not a home, but an apartment.
yeah, and then her friend goes, and Raven has clientele. So she can't be flying out to California.
Well, Raven is a bit of a Mia-esque character.
Ooh,
To
she's got
shift us into
Mia.
Potomac,
Yeah.
Raven's got Mia
She's got
running
some
left and
Mia in
right in
her.
her.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
and I love Mia.
Did you hear Mia's new tagline? Whatever that is?
I think you posted it, didn't you?
I sure did.
What? What? Now read it to me. Give it to me.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Oh, here it is. I
Yeah,
may not
please.
remember everything, but you'll never forget me. I cannot do Mia's voice, but I love it. I may not remember everything, but you'll never forget me.
Yeah,
I
so
can
this
only
is our segue into Potomac, if you guys
Giselle has
haven't
a beautiful
realized.
heart.
Okay, where to begin? I gotta say, I applaud Candace Dillard Bassett's growth.
Um, you know how I feel. I just cannot wrap my heart around this story. I just feel that Chris Bassett. Does Candace listen to this podcast? Because I am terrified of her.
I don't think so, but she is a fan of mine.
I know, and look. If we put a little clip up of this, just don't make it this one. When like they'll clip it out. Because if you were to
Mhm.
post it and she saw it, I just don't need Candace. I feel would like friend me and like start DMing me like you fucking ass.
Well, then she could see your face in the crowd at Deep Space.
Yeah, like
And
I don't need Candace getting at
no,
me
no,
because
no,
I'm
no,
so
no.
terrified
Yeah.
of her.
So what are you gonna say?
I just feel she has said worse things about Chris on this show. Like,
Yeah, but that's her husband. She can say whatever she wants.
you think she should say he looks like a rat and is a deadbeat dad and that he needs to
No,
get the
I
fuck
mean
away
that.
from her?
Listen, that wasn't
I
great.
mean,
It wasn't great. But
like,
I think she
I just
saw
feel like
the.
Giselle saying he made me slightly. I would honestly be a
No,
little
it
bit more
wasn't just
angrier
that.
at Ashley because Ashley's situation is so innocuous.
No, I know. I think Candace realized that when Ashley said that, her ears kind of perked up. And then when Giselle said what she said, she was like, oh, I get what you guys are doing now. Like, you
So
all
you
are going to
think
be
she
talking
blames,
about
but then
this.
why is it her ire seems to be so focused on Giselle and even impressed now? She's like, Ashley and I are good.
I think because Giselle and her are closer, so she maybe expected a little bit more because I know
Dash,
that
I
Chris
can
really
see
likes
that.
Giselle. But then when Mia said, I caught him looking at me, and the editors were like, Chris, not looking at
Those
Mia.
editors, it wasn't even like it
Chris,
looked like they
not
barely
looking at
had him on
Mia again.
frame.
No,
Like,
it was so fucking crazy. And like, I gotta say, Robin's having a breakout season.
what I
I
want to
think
say
she's having
before
a
we move
great
on
year.
from
Yeah.
Candace, I will
Mm-hmm.
say I appreciate them as much as, and Giselle is one of my favorite housewives
Faves.
ever, and she will
Mm-hmm.
be on this show for a million years, and she owns
Mm-hmm.
that home of Potomac.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I am so happy, as Basset hounds as we are, that Candace is finally getting a season where people are on her side. Now, I am seeing a lot of people still saying, like, well, she's too mean and she's out of control and she's got to get off of Twitter. And I'm like, well, I agree. But, like, I am glad that
But
at least half of the audience seems to finally be like, all right, she's good. That in hating
yeah, like
Giselle, we've got some Candace love finally.
some basset hounds are rising up.
Yeah,
And
I'm so
when
glad that we're
she
seeing that.
said, she goes, you're keeping my breaking the fourth wall. Do not take this out. I was like, Candace, producer Candace, star Candace.
I
queen.
do worry though she's going to play herself out of pocket because it doesn't seem like any of the other women even care or take her side on this one.
No.
Like
I
at
think they all just
BravoCon,
think
she
Giselle's
seemed
stupid.
like, but it seemed like Giselle and Robin are going to be besties till the end of time. That's a friendship I don't see ever changing.
Mm-mm.
Karen defends literally no one. Like she's like Giselle and I are frenemies, and we're in a good space right now. Mia is a mess, and the other one I forget is on the show, Wendy.
Yeah, you hate Wendy.
So I don't want this whole fight.
Are we gonna talk about Mia's or Wendy's hot mic moment?
Well, that's who I think Wendy is, a liar.
Wow, okay.
I don't. What else is there to say? I think,
There's nothing
and I
else?
feel
Yeah.
like that's a lot of what their argument was about last season. Is that you have drastically changed who you are on this show in your second season, and we just don't recognize you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure maybe some of that was happening too last season. Of like you're saying one thing on camera, off camera you're different.
Yeah.
And Wendy, to me, I just don't understand why she's on this show.
I don't know why she wants to open up a restaurant slash
Slash
library
library.
slash daycare.
And by
I
the
don't
way,
get
I should
it.
add, I live in Baltimore, but a stone's throw from Bar One. That is already
Mhm.
a concept in the greater DMV area. Busboys and
Right.
Poets, that already exists. Like we don't
What's it
need
called?
a. It's called Busboys and Poets. It's named after a Zora Neale Hurston story, I believe. We
Oh.
don't need another restaurant slash bookstore. We got
Well,
it.
she also why is she doing all of this? Like, aren't you tired? Like, go home.
But I think a lot of it comes from if you think about her. So she was a commentator and professor, right?
Mhm.
She joins the Real Housewives. Being a commentator and a professor is not something you can monetize by being on the Real Housewives. So she has to, if
True.
she wants to make money, she has to pivot into a different kind of business to selling something or creating a space people can go to because Johns Hopkins isn't going to pay her anymore because she's on the
Mm.
Housewives.
Yeah.
And I don't, and I'd imagine that eventually CNN or, well, she's usually on Fox, which is upsetting enough.
Yeah.
I don't think they're calling more often like, oh, now that she's a housewife of Potomac, we
Let's
need
get
to
her
hear her
on.
thoughts even more.
Right.
So
No,
I
I
think she's just
agree.
struggling to find a business to monetize.
Well, I gotta say, I did laugh when she was putting those kids to work, folding boxes. I did
I
laugh.
was with Robin though. Don't like fuck you. Don't come to my party.
Yeah, I
But I
love
love
Robin.
Robin
I love
and I love
Robin.
Juan.
And Robin is, you like Juan?
He's gorgeous. He's our
He
hottest
looks
house
like a
husband.
toad.
I love him.
He used to be so hot. He now looks
And you know
weathered.
who I'm really missing? Mr. Darby.
Chris,
I don't know why they couldn't look.
what do you mean?
He's an evil, awful man, but he gave us a lot.
Chris,
I
he's
just feel like we're
awful.
missing one of our characters. Like he was like the eighth housewife on there.
He really was. He did hold the champagne flute. He did.
Yeah, so it's just like I just feel like we've lost a character, and I'm sad that we didn't even get like a final scene with him.
Hmm.
He's like
Do you
I'm
think
done.
Ashley released the news to the public about her divorce because she wanted like leverage in the house situation?
I don't know because I'm not even sure this house situation is happening because they're still living in that apartment. Like I think
Right.
everything Ashley's talking about is a goddamn lie.
Mm.
I don't know what's going on with her. The fact that, and I'm surprised, why has no one simply asked her, why are you divorcing him? Like, what was the inciting incident?
I know. I really want to know, like, what was
Like,
the
it
breaking point?
doesn't make any sense. It must have been cut because there's no way Giselle Bryant and Karen Huger did not say, hey, what happened?
Yeah, something bad must have happened.
And they're like, either Ashley's like, please never ask me that question because this is what could it have been after everything this man has done on
Yeah.
national television? That she was finally like, I've had enough. It can't just be like, he still wanted to have threesomes and I didn't. She had
What
to
a
have like walked in
run.
and he was having a threesome like in the baby's crib. Like it could, I don't know. Like this man has done the most awful things.
No, I know.
He has embarrassed her left and right,
Embarrassed.
dragged her
Embarrassed. I
name
have to
through the
say,
streets.
the grin that she gets on her face when they talk about the money that she's going to get is so fucking hilarious to me. Like, she doesn't even try to hide it. And she never has.
No.
She was like,
I mean,
I'm
the
clearly with him for money.
first 3 seasons of this show, it could have just been called Prenup because that was all she was talking about. Like, we got to get that post up. We got to get the post. If, hey, if we're together for 5 years, I'm going to get more money.
I mean, it's so iconic. Like,
But no,
I don't know. I think we're in
I
for a
love
really good
Potomac. I
season.
look for it every Sun. I look forward to it every Sunday. I'm really
Mhm.
looking forward to that Cheshire Cat grinning Shasha. Get more in the mix.
She makes me laugh. I'm
She's
sorry.
my
Like, she
she's
gets
been
me good.
I have been waiting for her to get back on our screens. I'm a Shasha truther.
Hmm. You are.
I've loved her since
What do you
day
think
one.
of
But I also love
Monique?
Katie.
No, we're not. We're not going there. I
Monique
can't
had a
touch
real
Katie.
fall from grace. She was so
Well,
beautiful.
it's really, I mean, her and Chris are separated. So I'm a little confused, like, what they're talking about.
So
Because
it
she's like,
seems then that
that's
other
not
show don't.
true.
Well, she can't separate, right? Isn't the other show she's on based off of being married?
Yeah, but I think some people get divorced on that show, Chris.
And then do they stay on?
Probably. I don't
Well, I love
follow
that
it.
I'm saying that like we haven't just let go of the Real Housewives premise. Like they can't
Yeah, I'm like,
possibly be
everyone's
on the
single.
they can't possibly be on the show if they're not married. It's like I think we've let go of
Speaking
a lot more.
of, it really made me laugh when Karen and Ray went and got their nails done. And like, he's like, I
I get
mean, men are attracted to you, Karen.
I get very sad thinking about the fact that we're gonna watch Ray pass.
Why would you ever say that?
Because I live in like the future. I see the beginning. I see the end before it begins. I'm like,
Yeah.
we're Karen, much like Giselle, will be on this show as long as she wants to.
She's
And
not going anywhere.
I think Ray has maybe 5 more years. He doesn't look well.
Chris.
And I think Potomac could ride right into a season 20.
Oh, we
With
got
this
these
same
girls
cast. I'd watch
with
them
the
forever.
same cast. That's what I mean. Like, these women are not going anywhere. Like,
And
this is it.
I know you hate me about there is something what she's up to online makes me laugh. Like this whole like thing about her losing her business and like how it
Oh
was
my God.
stolen while they were on vacation.
Yeah.
That's a
I
whole
mean, that
season
crap.
worth of nonsense right there.
It is.
And
Speaking of nonsense,
Potomac. That's it.
that's it. Let's talk Beverly Hills Part 3 reunion. What are your thoughts, comments, concerns, feelings?
Yikes. What a flop
Woo!
of a reunion.
Guys, I have to come on here and discuss something. Because I'm seeing a lot of things online.
Uh-oh.
Rinna is not lying. Kathy, without a
Well,
doubt, well, let me finish. Kathy, without a doubt, lost her fucking mind that night.
but Kathy said she
Do I
lost her
think,
mind.
but do I think Rinna has like PTSD? No. Do I think Kathy tried too hard at this reunion?
Do you
Yes.
think Kathy? No, 100% Rinna is exaggerating. I don't think for a minute Kathy Hilton said, "I'm going to take down Bravo,
I
Evolution,
believe that.
NBC, Universal." Like,
I believe she did that.
she got into like the charter,
No,
Peacock.
Evolution. No, I 100% believe that she said all of that.
I don't know. I can't
Because
picture
she's
it.
also the woman that was trying to negotiate her contract as a friend up to get $1 million a season.
And
She's also
honestly, she
someone
was
that
worth it all because we had nothing before she showed up.
that's true. But I felt bad for Kyle.
What?
I did.
I will log off of this Zoom or whatever the fuck you call this
I
platform
think
right now.
she's wrong in the sense what you were texting me about when she was like, well, what about how I'm feeling? Like acting like she's the only one that has like hurt feelings. But I felt sad for her in
Kyle
the
is a
sense that like
goddamn asshole.
that I mean, but her Kathy is awful to her, and that's like the end of their
She is.
relationship we watched.
Okay. Kyle is the worst sister in the entire world.
She's not a good sister.
So I don't understand. So if you think of the Hiltons, though, that triumvirate, those three little monsters just running amok.
The Richard sisters, yes.
Kathy and Kim seem to have been consistently good. And frankly, I think from what we have all heard, right, that Kyle seems to be the one who's constantly on the outs with the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if, and at the end of the day, and I think Kathy is actually a nice person for not just coming out and saying this, although she seems to be liking a lot of comments on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I too would never forgive my sister if they behaved the way that Kyle did at the end of season 1. Like, that is actually irreparably damaging what she did.
Mm-hmm.
And then how she proceeded in some ways to exploit Kim's sickness on that show, talking about it,
I don't disagree.
constantly pointing, like, Kim's late for something and Kyle's like, she's like, and someone says, oh, what's going on with Kyle? I mean, Kim, she must be like a little something. Kyle will sit there with her finger in her. It's like, you need to say something. Like, if
Yeah.
actually someone is saying something about someone you love and you don't stand up for them, you might as well have just said it yourself. Like, it is
Yeah.
actually crazy to me that she allowed Rinna to say those things in her home about her
Mm-hmm.
sister and just sat there with her finger in her mouth, like, nothing.
Yeah.
Like, what can I possibly do about this?
But what
Or like, how
about all the things Kathy said about her?
Kyle didn't hear them directly. So there's
So is she
almost
just
something,
not going to believe her?
but there's something to be said for, I would go to my sister, ask her if
Mm-hmm.
she said them. And I think actually that apology seemed pretty genuine to me,
It did.
where Kathy said, like, I'm going through a lot. I really snapped. I love you and I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Then Rana show came in, was invited by production, but Kyle didn't give
Mm-hmm.
her any warm. Like, think about that. Like, you show up to apologize to your sister, and she says, "Oh, the castmate who started all of this is on her way."
Yeah. No, you're right. Like, I get
It's
what
like
you're
a
saying.
caring about the show. Like, I think Kyle is willing to throw them out for the show, but not willing to be. It's very LVP behavior. She's basically just allowing Rinna to do her dirty work and pretending it bothers her. I mean, how do you get
Mm-hmm.
over when Rinna said you're close? Rinna said your sister's close to death and you're enabling it. Next season, they're like, we gotta see Rinna on the boat. Like, we gotta have
Yeah.
her.
Like, that was crazy. Like,
Like,
I
Rinna's gotta
think
be at
Kyle,
Portia's bar mitzvah.
no, I
It's
think that
like, does
that's really
she?
fucked up. I do. I think how Kyle has treated Kim and the things that she's let go. And, like, to quote Kim Richards herself, Kathy would have had my back like a real sister. And Kathy did have her back because
And I
Kathy
think
brought the big
Kathy did the
guns.
best she could last season. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
think it is interesting that Kathy waltzed into the show. And if you notice, like, last season, she kind of palled around with Rinna a little, but they never,
Mm-hmm.
like, you didn't see a solo scene between the two of them. Rinna never was caught. Like, whereas she clearly was interested in exploring a friendship with Garcelle and Sutton. Dorit would call
Mm-hmm.
her on occasion, but she kind of kept her full distance from Rinna, but also wasn't willing to say, like, the way you treated my sister was really poorly, because all that does is reopen that wound and gives Bravo the
Mm-hmm.
chance to cut to it. Whereas,
Yeah.
Kyle's like, hey, how about I quote like that weird scene? Like, Kyle's never not like put some bread in your mouth or like bringing up things that allow them to cut to these dark moments, because I think ultimately she's interested in the show and not family. But she knows well enough that she can't just say that. Kyle's an awful person. Well, no, I shouldn't say person. She's an awful sister. I bet she's probably an okay friend and a great mom.
Yeah. So something to think about. Because I just think that Kathy did lose her mind and Rinna's
If Kyle was
dramatic.
my sister, I'd be losing. She put her in a basement bunk bed. I would have said I'm going to ruin her life too. From the,
She did.
and honestly, I would have taken down Bravo, Universal, and Peacock if I was sleeping in that child's bunk bed. It didn't even. It
I
looked like a
know. And
twin,
Kathy was like, had to roll out of it. Like, roll. It
and
was
the
bad.
room seemed to be like a closet.
Yeah, listen, that house was a disaster.
I know, it's just simply too
Kyle's like, I
small.
love being close to my family. I'm like, babe, this is
Mm,
too close.
I'm glad Kyle sold. I'm glad she sold it, because, like,
Yeah,
I think she heard the online chatter of like, this house is not what you think it is, sweetie.
this house is hideous. It looked like two different houses on the outside.
But other than that, I just thought, this reunion was really a flop. I thought it fully showed that Andy Cohen needs to perhaps only host certain reunions. I don't want to put him on. I'm happy for him to continue on OC.
Okay.
But I just feel like once we enter any kind of modern language or dynamics, he loses his way totally.
Yeah. I
The
agree.
fact that
I
he
don't
can't
think
navigate
Andy
the
needs to be
Crystal
like
thing.
canceled, but
No, but I just think he needs to also, it's okay for us to put him out to pasture. He's been on the network since like, hasn't it been almost 20 years?
yeah,
How long have we been
literally
watching these women, the exploits of these
too fucking
women?
long.
Like, I've
Too
had,
long.
they're my longest relationship.
Same. My most consistent. And
So
that's
it's
saying
just like, I
something.
think it's time for us to bid adieu. And Nina Parker needs a job, so let's get her in there.
You know who would you want to replace Andy?
Nina Parker.
Okay.
Get
I
him
agree.
gone.
I think she's very
Watch What
funny.
Happens Live isn't as fun as it used to be.
No. It used to be the fucking moment.
Now it's just like, and now it's like they can't even do I used to watch What Happens Live. The after show was 30 minutes of Nene Leakes just
Mhm.
screaming. Now it's like two
Screaming.
questions and they're out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, it's just
There's no energy, no verve.
that's what I mean. Like there's no energy behind it anymore. And like
Everything
that's
is so
okay.
scripted. And
Yeah.
don't think, I just think the way he handled everything with Garcelle, the fact that his one-sidedness in the Kyle Crystal thing was really upsetting to me. I don't know
Yeah.
why these women hate Crystal. I don't know what she did to them.
Well, so what I heard is that Teddy and Crystal were friends, and then Crystal came and took Teddy's diamond.
Are you sure you want to talk about Teddy again?
Apparently, she's talking about me on Two Teas in the Pod. I just got a fucking notification about it.
Yeah, I just don't, like, you're the moon
We're
in this
so
situation.
weird.
The dog can bark at the moon. Like, let Teddy scream. Don't talk about
No,
her.
I'm just saying that's what I heard.
Like, she's
Like, is
fucking
that
nuts.
Teddy or Crystal took her diamond. So that's the problem.
Are you more excited for the new season of Jersey or OC?
Jersey.
I think OC. I'm excited to see Tammy back.
Well,
I
I'm
need my
excited to see Tammy Sue back. I definitely, guys, I just got to give a shout out to Alexis Bellino. That post rocked my world.
It proves, as I've always said, that Jim Bellino is the problem in the world.
He is the problem. Alexis really came through, and I just got to give like props to her. Like the way
Maybe Alexis should
she's
take
really
Andy's
grown.
job.
Shut up.
No,
Okay.
didn't someone on Bravo say they wanted Andy's job at one point? It was someone crazy.
Sheena. It was
Honestly,
Sheena.
I'd love to see Sheena Marie
She went
do a
to
week of Watch What
journalism
Happens.
school. This is a quote. I went to journalism school, so when you're ready to retire, I'm ready to take your job.
I would
That's
love
a
to
quote.
see Sheena just do a week of Watch What Happens Live. Just take it over.
Good as gold, baby.
Remember when
Chris,
Portia said she was a journalist and Andy was like, what are you talking about? She was like, as a journalist, facts are really important to me. And everyone was like, come on.
do you miss Portia?
Of course. I need her back on Atlanta. I'm really excited for although no, I'm not. I'm not excited for Thailand. It looks, I can't take any
Did you
more
see
of
the
this.
trailer?
Yeah, and I just can't take more of Heather and Whitney.
I'm ready for them to fight.
You need to be nice about my feelings. I hate Whitney and I hate Heather. I'm excited for Portia and Candace to like pal around. I don't know.
People on Twitter keep typing like how Whitney talks.
Phthalanes and like trauma.
Well, and it's like someone said the Real Housewives, like
Wow.
RILL. Real.
Wow. I can't with
I
Salt Lake
love
City.
her. I'm sorry.
I know
love
you
her.
do. I can't. I don't like Salt Lake City though in general, so I'm glad we didn't talk about it. I keep watching, but it's not for me. Although I
haven't watched yet. I haven't watched
John.
yet, but this was so much fun. We had so many laughs. Fun. If you guys enjoyed this dynamic, you would love Shortcomings. It comes out new episodes every Wednesday. So go listen to wherever you get your podcasts. And if you want to see our beautiful faces, you can watch over on YouTube.
And I just want everyone to DM me about Love is Blind.
Please do. Like, email us.
Oh, where? Do you have an email?
Don't we? No, isn't there a Shortcomings email?
Dude, yes. If you would like to email the Sex and the City podcast about Love is Blind, please. I will reply. Shortcomingspodcast@gmail.com. Please email me your thoughts. I need to know more.
Chris, where can everyone find you so they can DM you about this?
CLewis1219 on Instagram.
And I am at Bravo Historian on Instagram, at Take Yours Off on Twitter. And I love you all, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.